Hello, welcome back everybody. We're here again with another match, and this time it's going to be the East Oakland Tsunami players that are going to kick off and I guess drop off the bus into the map. And of course, with us being in the gold division, there is going to be a sort of a member change, and with the two members, it's going to be Greninja and Tree. Make sure we can see this for you all properly. From the bottom, cutting off there, we'll put that in, no problem. Now, what the members are going to kick off here is a higher level of skill, meaning a lot more deadly plays going to come in. Greninja on the top left, Tree on the bottom right. Tree or Greninja able to spot out a few, and it's going to be difficult for them to play around for this. It looks like they're actually down a member this week, so it's going to be a 2v the rest of the world. We'll have to see how that plays out. Greninja taking some heavy damage, able to get a one knockdown. She's able to get that elimination. There it is. Greninja finally making the play, and I like this because we're finally able to spectate and watch Greninja playing. We've never been able to do so. This is our first week. I'm so happy. And what a treat he's given us so far. 2 plunger grenades. Get that knockdown. Finish it off with the assault rifle for the elimination. I love it. Alright, and another damage in. That's going to be Greninja taken out and eliminated. Tree should be here for the support. Get some good damage in. Able to pick that off, but can't quite get that elimination. He might get taken down instead. He's 3 HP. 1 tick of damage from anything, absolutely anything, and he'll get taken out. He might get followed. He might get taken out. Oh my goodness, Tree hanging on for dear life as he's trying to pop his shield pots and stay alive for a little bit longer. Opponents might come underway as they've got the spider web gauntlet to be able to do so, and that's gonna be it. Elimination is in. Tree at least able to get 1 knockdown, but that's gonna be a wrap for game number 1, and that'll be it, I guess. So we're gonna have to take a short break and we'll be right back. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the very final game of the day. And we're going to be spectating the East Oakland Tsunami in the Gold Division. This time around, we've got Tree, Greninja, and Beast Boy. So we were down Beast Boy in the last match. And unfortunately, it did cost the East Oakland members dearly. And now what happened during that last match? Well, we saw that East Oakland was able to get into Daily Bugle fairly quickly. However, there was a larger number of other players that also came in that made it a lot more difficult for them to maneuver and play around. And then, of course, with Greninja dropping in earlier into the fight, at least able to pick off with a 1 elimination, better than none, it made it so difficult for them to gather resources and be able to fight back, because what ended up happening is Greninja got taken down, and that left Triel by himself in a 1v, I think it was a 1v4 or 5. There was so many members there that the East Oakland was just going up against, and they held on for as long as they could, but weren't able to get enough resources to really take the full utility into their fight. Now, we are only able to spectate 2 at the moment, which is going to be Greninja on the top left and Tree on the bottom right. But Beast Boy is also playing this game as well, so we'll try to get in as much as we can for Beast Boy, but I'll admit, it might be a little bit difficult if he's not on screen at all. And so this time around, it looks like East Oakland's able to get a lot more out of the Daily Bugle than they did last time. Nobody really here to contest, which is definitely going to be a good thing. They've got free reign, free roam over this, able to collect whatever resources they can, and the web gauntlets, of course, are always going to be the biggest factor in this game. So we're getting some shield underway for some of the members. Tree able to get full shields already. Greninja looking like they're going to be brought up to half at least. And then, of course, the finishing half. Now we're just waiting on Beast Boy to find whatever resources they can to get that last bit of shield for them. But for the most part, pretty well stocked up. We got some good resources coming in. So as they go into the ensuing fights, we'll see how it plays out. Nothing too dangerous yet. Now they are going to be more on the outskirts. So that means that when some of the players try to make their way towards the center circle and away from the storm, they might run into more trouble along the way. Well, at least luckily enough, we've seen that although they do run into trouble, they actually make it work heavily in their favor, because they've got so much maneuverability with those Spider-Man gauntlets that opponents don't really realize that they're there until you see Tree flying in with a shotgun to the face. And so let's see what happens here. Doesn't look like anything gonna really go down just yet. We're mainly just seeing gathering, and that's a big portion of Fortnite that goes in. So of course we're at the very early stages in this. Now we started off with 96 players in this match, already down to 79. So of course there's going to be some battles that go along the way, but starting to get closer and closer to our halfway mark. Halfway usually marks in that mid-game territory. We're still in the very early on, even though that East Oakland's pretty much mostly fully stocked up in a lot of ways. And the ping is coming in that they want to start moving out. Beast Boy still only half shields, full HP at least, of course. Not taking any damage or any battles. But he might want to find that last bit of support to be able to do so. Now, we saw in the last match, actually, something we haven't been seeing as frequently in these matches is the plunger bomb. And that had such a phenomenal amount of impact in the last match. and especially in the Silver League, because there were so many explosions that were coming underway that it was just so difficult to keep up with. It was just coming in left, right, all over the place. Of course, they had the flare gun, so that completely demolished all the builds that were going upwards and made it very difficult for some of the East Oakland members to maneuver and play around. Now, of course, no eliminations in just yet. They haven't really spawned anybody at all. I guess that's luckily enough for them. Now Beast Boy finally able to find some shields. There's a car nearby and you can hear it over on Tree's side. Actually, no, it's on Greninja's side. Now, it's okay because it's the AI patrol car once again. So not too much danger. But just enough to take maybe a little bit of damage. Tree, usually one of the first members to spot out the opponents. Greninja and Beast Boy are going to play and stick together. Try to support each other. Tree has all the patience and all the positioning to be able to play into these fights. Doesn't look like able to trade in or anything useful just yet. Spots out the AI again. Beast Boy open firing, and now they're going to take a little bit of aggro away from the AI, but Tree not going to really pay too much attention. Just wants to go for the loot. Still hasn't spotted out any opponents. This is both a blessing and a curse in disguise. Not because, obviously it's a blessing because now they're moving further into the match. It's a curse because they can't pick up any eliminations. They can't get the bonus points that they're trying to look so desperately for. And especially with the way that East Oakland plays, they love to go for their eliminations. On top of that, it's even more so needed in this upcoming game because of how unfortunate they didn't do so well in the last game. There's always a way back for them. Won't lie, these tree polygons are throwing me off with the lower settings. That kind of caught me up. I was wondering why the trees were fully rendering. I think it's just the video settings for tree on the bottom right. Greninja's looks a little bit more smoother. Of course, it doesn't have too much of an impact on the game depending on the positioning and placement. I mean, the tree loads just as it normally does. This is pretty helpful here. Greninja able to spot out some builds coming in from an enemy. Maybe a potential fight as well. Looks like they're going to ping themselves across the river. Maybe just go for better positioning. They do spot a few more. Beast Boy coming from above. Tree and Greninja getting themselves in good positions. Fight should be coming in underway. Hasn't spotted anybody just yet, but looks like they want to ignore this fight. It's not the one they want to take. It doesn't look like they had the best position to do so either. Now they do spot this. Maybe a Finnish battle that happened not too long ago. Gonna take whatever loot they can. Still no battle here. 52 players left. And looks like whoever was here is long gone, but Tree pinging out a car. Spots out something. Opponents are going to look like they're going to drive away, but they're going to open fire onto them. Looks like that was Tree, the one that opened fire there. Looks like they're going to keep on... Oh, not keep on going. It's just a bird. So they got some damage on the opponents. doesn't really mean that they did much. And we saw just in the brief moment on the bottom right tree, from Tree's perspective, some of the opponents actually web-slinged away from the battle. Now, I like that what East Oakland's doing here. They're deciding to just utilize this fort that's already been pre-built and use it as a sort of small base of operations. Because it does have a few metal walls. It's got a few guns for resources. And it's hovering just on the edge of the border. So when the storm closes, it's not going to close into them. You can hear the gunshots from a distance. East Oakland on high alert. Now, the only downside on this fort is that it sticks out like a sore thumb. Obviously, if you see green grasses and blue waters, and suddenly you see the brown, I guess, clunky looking forts that are built, especially with how big it is, it's very noticeable where it's going to be. Now, you can see East Oakland. They know what's roughly going to happen there. They see the two builds and two forts that are coming underway. And they're trying to build themselves around it. You can hear the explosion coming their way. Looks like they're going to take some fire. Still in a safe spot for now. They got to watch out where the explosion's coming in from. Trees not taking any damage here, but in a very dangerous position. Does take 60 bit of damage. Has some consumables to be able to prop it right back up, but they got to watch out here now. They're getting exposed to where the opponents are. Looks like they want to go for their engage. Jump padding away. They gotta watch out here. They could take way too much damage as they're trying to land in. Now that's easier said than done. Even though you're trying to fly away, could take in a lot. Over the top left, Greninja using a sniper, try to take down who they can, but they're still throwing their plunger bombs in. Tree taking some heavy damage. No shields left. Still full HP. Greninja spotting out the opponent. Can't quite land the shots here, but Beast Boy and Tree are going to provide the support that he needs. Greninja with the sniper rifle here, trying to position himself. But the opponent is relentless. Greninja in a 1v1 deadlock battle does have the low ground here. Opponent could drop on it at any moment. Tree's going to come in from the support from above. Meanwhile, Greninja is going to try to deal as damage to whatever he can from below. He's taking some heavy damage. 47 HP. Takes that last bit of damage and gets knocked down here. 4 HP and Greninja gets eliminated. Beast Boy brought down to roughly about a half health. Or little less than half. Maybe around a quarter, but half shield. Tree in a 1v2. Could get taken down. Gets one knockdown. No elimination just yet. Spots out the opponent. Jumps and builds away. Beast Boy still alive for now. Trying to come from the side, but the storm closing in, meaning Tree's in a very dangerous situation. He has to win this fight now. He can't win it later. If he wants to at least carry on for this fight. Looks like Tree is going to decide to opt away from this fight. They do have the reboot card, so they could re-engage back in. But for now, they're going to decide, let's live another day. Let's reboot our fallen Greninja. And luckily enough, we get to spectate Beast Boy now. From Greninja's perspective of all things. Usually we don't get to spectate anything of Greninja's. Now here's the danger. The opponents are going to roughly know that this is where they want to go. So they got to watch out. Luckily Tree is able to get some good shield potion in. Get themselves in a safe scenario. And hear the web slinging. Tree doesn't know exactly where it's going to come from. Doesn't look like a Beast Boy's taking any damage. Nope. Beast Boy taking a little bit of damage. Could be in an ongoing firefight. We'll have to see. There's a few opponents. 1, 2, 3. Another team over on the side. Tree just barely able to survive from that one. 9 HP left. Looks like Beast Boy got taken down. All Tree can do is just heal back up, but he's not in the best of positions. If he gets caught out here now, he's as good as gone. All Tree can do is hope to survive for as long as possible. In the final game, still has the 1 reboot card. Trying to gain some information. 30 players left. We're starting to reach near the end of the mid game. As the map gets smaller and smaller. Looks like Tree wants to go for the other reboot van. I don't think they can make it though. Like, there's so many different teams here. There's at least maybe 3 teams in the nearby vicinity. Tree can't go anywhere either. All he can do is buy time, try to gain points from ranking up, but 0 eliminations. Very low elimination count coming in for East Oakland. And this firefight coming away, and look at the storm closing in. Tree is forced to move now. Unfortunately, doesn't have any timing to be able to do much else. Luckily, does have the time to be able to get the health medkit back in, but can't use it just yet, actually. Storm closing in. Tree still not in the circle just yet. Slowly going to make there, but he can see the firefight going underway. Luckily enough, he's able to get into a sneaky bush just to heal himself back up. Should be full health after this. 50 shield. Meaning they could go for a fight at any moment. Now we're in our endgame territory. 19 players left. Storm gonna start to shrink in sooner or later. 50 seconds left on that. Tree able to make his way to the other side. Looks like he might want to go for the reboot card, actually. I don't think that's the play here, especially with the way that some of the opponents have full control over it. Luckily enough, Tree does find this fort. Looks like he's potentially getting engaged on here. Gonna decide to break the opponent's fort. Doesn't look like they fell down, took any damage. Tree getting engaged off from the side. Firefight from so many different angles. Tree doesn't have a lot of information to go off of either. All he can do is just hold on, wait. Explosions coming in. Tree hold it on, waiting for this onslaught and barrage coming in. They don't exactly know where Tree went, but Tree's just going to let the firefight play out as it is and try to see if he can get any pick off. Bide his time, back and forth. Look at this Tree spotting out the 1. But if he reveals his position, it actually does more harm to him rather than more gain. He might be able to get out 1 elimination. Yeah, that works, but he's trying to go for the victory royale. Now it's a very different Tree than we've been seeing in the last match. We've been seeing Tree play. Before he was playing to win, to get the elimination, to just dominate. But now we're seeing Tree play to not lose. 0 eliminations, 0 assists, meaning Trees, all they've done is just participate in this game. Tree forced to jump away. Does take some heavy fire, does get spotted out here. He might be in a bit of a jam. We'll have to see how many opponents are firing against him. He does spot the 1, gets some good damage in, but still gets eliminated in the end. Does place 7th at the end of it all. So is able to get at least a little bit of points in for East Oakland Tsunami. But that's going to be a wrap for this week's matches. As we close it out here, we had a 28th place. I think the other one was 18th or to 20th place.